take. Wait, we're taking apps.
No.
So that's gonna take
Solving inequalities algebraically and graphically.
The title of the section does not match up with the notes.
The title of the section was longer than the notes.
Like, I thought this was going to be something really scary, and I wrote two
Oh,
things.
I thought you meant like I gave you the wrong section of notes, and I was like,
Oh, no. It just sounds really complicated in the two things I wrote.
Oh, no, it's
How come your notes are so much smaller?
quite easy.
Because I write someone and you take up 14 lines per word.
All right. Solve the inequality algebraically, write the solution in interval notation, and draw its number line graph. So, it's the absolute value of 2x minus 1 is greater than 3.6. So, when I have an absolute value, what does that mean?
It's how far it is from 0.
Okay, that is true. Not what I was looking for, but that is true.
It's negative and plus 0. Positive.
Yes. So I'm going to have two separate problems. So I'm going to have 2x minus 1 is greater than 3.6. Now, when I have an absolute value inequality, I will also have 2x minus 1 is less than negative 3.6. Now, I don't know if you remember, but when we are dealing with absolute value inequalities, we look at this to determine if it's going to be an and or an or. So if you remember, it's less than and, greater than is or, land and gore.
Oh, I remember that.
So this is going to be an or problem. Now, I probably have them written in the wrong order. Just a wild guess based on the fact that the negative one's on the right at the moment, but that's fine. We'll reorder them after we're done. So add 1, 2x greater than 4.6.
2.3.
Divide by 2, we get 2.3. Or over here, 2x is less than negative 2.6. And then divide by 2, x is less than negative 1.3. Now, they don't want the answer left this way, I don't think. Solve the inequality algebraically. Write the solution in interval notation. So technically, I should swap these. X is less than negative 1.3 or x is greater than 2.3 as the answer in inequality notation. However, they wanted an interval notation, which is with parentheses and brackets. So this is one where we do from negative infinity to whatever this number is, so negative 1.3, and that's a parentheses because it's just less than or just greater than. Remember, if it's or equal to, it's a bracket, but at infinity or negative infinity, it's always a parentheses. And then we do the U for union. Okay, that's like our math symbol for or. And then we would do 2.3 with a parentheses all the way to infinity. So this would be our interval notation. And then they want us to put this on a number line graph. So it's kind of excessively large there, but 0, negative 1, negative 2, 1, 2, 3. All right, so that turned off. All right, so at negative 1.3, I'm going to put a parentheses opening to the left. And then at 2.3, I'm going to put a parentheses opening to the right.
Why don't they just use or? Why do they have to have a fancy symbol for it?
I don't
Because
know.
not everybody speaks the same language.
It means union, which comes into play in like
That was history.
stats and stuff.
Union.
I work for a union.
Are you a lifeguard?
You didn't know that?
He's really good at his job.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
He's on his phone while he's doing the lifeguard job. Texting us.
I'm off stand.
All right.
Do you not know how to do
8, the absolute value of x minus 5 over 4 is less than or equal to 6. Is this going to be an and or an or problem?
Oh, it's going to be a
And.
land.
And, yep. So, that's what happens when you're talking. So if I wanted to, since I'm going to basically be copying this down exactly one time and then flipping it the other time, I could actually go ahead and write this as one inequality if I wanted to, because it would look like this if I want to go ahead and write it as 1. If you want to do it separate and do x minus 5 over 4 is greater than or equal to -6 and do them separate and then combine them together at the end, that's fine. But I'm going to do it this way for right now just for the sake of time. All right, so we multiply both sides by 4. So I'm going to have -24 is less than or equal to x minus 5 is less than or equal to 24. Then I'm going to add 5 to everything. So that's going to be -19 is less than or equal to x less than or equal to 29. So that would be an inequality notation, but they want an interval notation. These are or equal to, so they're going to be brackets from -19 to 29. And then we need our number line. I would probably count by like tens or something because these are pretty excessively large numbers.
Why is there not a union?
Because it's an and problem. If it's an and, it doesn't have a union. It's just one thing.
The crazy infinity things.
That's for 4 problems. Yes.
Not necessarily, but
Ooh.
most of the time, yes, that's true.
Smart.
There are just exceptions. All right, so this one would be brackets on both ends, facing inward.
He turned you off. He didn't turn you back on. Go back.
I thought you were talking about the screen. I was like, what?
Definitely not.
I was like, pretty sure it's still on.
What? Sorry.
Have you ever had an apricot before?
Yeah.
I've only ever had apricot jam. Have you ever had an apricot?
You still have to.
I'm sorry.
Have you
Why
ever
are you
used
talking about
apricot
fruit things?
No.
Starfish? Really weird. And it costs a lot of money.
What, a dragon fruit?
I said a star-looking thing.
A peach?
Yes.
All right.
It's a circle.
No, it isn't.
Let's try 12.
Not a circle.
Yo.
A peach is like an oval.
4x squared plus 2 is less than 9x. And we are solving the inequality.
This is an and.
I feel like
This
none of
is
this
not an
has
absolute
anything.
value, so.
What?
And an or.
It's an
Correlates with each other.
inequality.
Yes, it's not absolute value, so we don't have that. All right, so I would move the 9x over, and hopefully it will be factorable when we do that. So 4x squared minus 9x plus 2 is less than 0. So we're solving this even though it's like even though it is an inequality, we're going to solve it like it's an equality. So can I factor this?
No. Yes. Have to
Negative
go
8
term
and
squared.
negative 1. Move the two
Negative
over.
8 and negative 1. So factors of 8 that add up to negative 9 would be negative 8 and negative 1.
Do you want a cookie?
Yes, I do.
So 4x squared minus 8x minus x plus 2.
7 minutes.
Take out a 4x. Leaves us with x minus 2, or whatever method Zach uses. Take out a negative. Leaves us with x minus 2. So I've got 4x minus 1 and x minus 2 is less than 0. And then we do the same thing where we like set each piece like equal to that.
What happened to the 4x that's out of the parentheses?
It's right here.
What? How did it go in?
Wait,
Is
how
something
come
wrong?
-8 and -1 both come from the 8 because that would make it and the 8 in the problem is negative, right?
Because these are multiplied. -8 times -1 is +8.
But the 8 in the problem is negative.
Yeah, I put that there from right here.
And where did we get the 8 from to begin with?
4 times
That's
2.
tough.
4 times 2 equals
Okay.
8, and then after you factor out 8, the whole thing is 8, and add together to make 9.
Why isn't it 4x squared in that parenthesis?
Wait a minute.
Like, how do we get from 4x?
I mean, you keep going, but I'm telling myself to wait.
You
4x.
factored out a 4x.
So
How
if
do
you
I
were
understand
to
this?
FOIL,
Because he doesn't show his work when he factors.
if you
I don't
were
So
know
he
how to
gets
factor, I
confused.
understand this.
He just downloads it. What is it? What do you mean by factor it out? What does that mean? Factor it. So like, how do we go from 4x parentheses x minus 2 parentheses to 4x minus 1?
yeah.
4x squared minus 8x. See that?
Yeah.
Now take a 4x out of both 4x squared and -8x.
Okay, yeah. Let's
And
put
put
it
that on the side.
Yeah.
That leaves you with just x and -2 because you just factored that out.
Yeah. So then how do we get 4x minus 1?
Oh, it's the
You
first
also
term.
factor out the -1 on the other side of the bars.
Wait.
It's the first term in front, the 4x and the -1. You group them.
Oh, you got.
Yeah, and then
But then why ain't it squared?
Because they're the same.
But x minus 2 is
This
x
video
squared
is going
minus
to be
2.
very interesting
You
to
just
watch
group
back.
You pull them out because they're the same.
I'm gonna just finish solving
So
while they're
we're not-
figuring
This is
this
right.
out.
We're not actually doing math now.
The more that they talk, the
just
more I'm like
coming.
losing
That's crazy.
the ability to know.
Like,
I am. I'm one of the smart ones now. Daniel confirmed it.
You're smart.
What was that?
Bro, you can't.
I am, bro.
Exactly.
It's happening
Yeah.
right now.
You got demoted from the smart list.
Alright, so our final answer would be the x is less than 1/4, but then we also have the x is less than 2. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So if x is less than 2, then x is, wait, if x is less than 1/4, then x is obviously going to be less than -2. I mean positive 2, right?
So we're gonna check a number and see if it's going to be like an and or if it would be like an or. Because obviously we solved this. So I would choose a number between, say, like 1 and see if it makes a true statement.
Oh, so we don't know if that's actually right?
Well, we have to figure out what the interval actually is.
I thought the interval was infinity and then 2. I mean, wait.
It could be, but we need to check.
It could be negative infinity.
So I would check something like 1 that's between the two numbers first to see if it works. So 4 times 1 plus 2 is less than 9 times 1. 4 plus 2 is 6 is less than 9. So I know that the part between this works. I need to see if a number smaller like 0 makes a true statement, something that's on the other end. So if I did 4 times 0 plus 2 is less than 9 times 0, then I have 2 is less than 0. Is that true?
No.
So that tells me that my answer has to be between these two numbers. So my answer has to be between 1/4 and 2.
Wait, why can't it be 1/8?
You play Fortnite.
Huh?
Why can't it be 1/8?
Yes, you.
Like if it's less than 1/4, what if it's 1/8?
Can you stop arguing? please?
Well, it
No, I
could
just
be.
don't know what I did. What?
Just wait.
I would just choose easier numbers than a fraction.
Why do we have to check it if you were just gonna write them as an ordered pair?
It's not an ordered pair, it's an interval.
Zach, I took your hat.
So how do
It's
we know
like
that
this.
it ends at 1/4?
Because that's the
can't it be
cap
a-
of it.
But it says that
Anything
x is-
smaller than that isn't gonna work.
So that's a false
Even
statement.
though it says x is less than 1/4.
This is just solving it.
Huh?
We're trying to figure out the interval that works.
I thought that's what we were solving for.
No, we're solving it like an equality. We have to figure out then, does it work between the interval or outside those intervals?
But
It should be getting kicked out.
Yeah, maybe you should go to the slow math.
x is less than 1/4.
Do you know what's happening?
Yes,
No,
I
you
just
don't.
explained it
Yes,
to
he
you.
does.
Like, I know the
What's
process.
an interval?
Didn't I just
What's an
explain it
interval?
to you?
What's an interval?
It's the two answers when it's an and problem. That looks like an order pair, but it's not an order pair, it's an interval, like she just said.
So what does it do?
It tells you
Tell me what?
the answer.
We're not solving.
You're solving for the intervals so you can know where to put the graph thing.
What's the graph?
You didn't graph this one.
We're not
Yeah,
graphing.
this one you're not
This
grabbing.
one?
This answer works for this piece.
Oh.
This answer works for this piece. That doesn't mean that they work interchangeably for each other.
So what would
Sure.
the graph look like on that number line?
Whoa.
But x is less than
That's just to figure out the thing.
That's not where the interval is, though. That's only a solution to this piece right here.
1/4. Okay.
So they have nothing to do with each other.
They do. They're telling me where to look for the interval. I need something that works in both. This is like when you find two solutions and we have to check and see if they actually work or not.
So the thing that will work in both is somewhere between 1/4 and 2.
Any number between 1/4 and 2 will make this a true statement.
Why did we even write x is less than
If it's throwing you off, like change them to equal signs.
You call it a trampoline.
But then you've still got to check and see what interval that they fall in.
Wait, that one doesn't make sense. It's not a trampoline.
Trampoline's like
Do you get it? Since if you get it, I'm just gonna say I
No,
get it.
it's that's entirely different.
I never thought I'd say this. Can we go back to math?
We just all finished the maths. We had to have a different conversation.
Okay.
Should be my head hurt.
I feel like if I do another one, y'all are just gonna be more confused.
Do it.
We're
So
just
we
gonna
can
try
not do
this
the
one.
math too.
Watch me.
All right, x cubed minus x squared minus 30x is less than or equal to 0.
So I know how to do this one. So try and
We're just going to pretend for the moment
Factor out it.
that it's an equal sign.
It's a less.
Okay? We're gonna disregard that it's a less than or equal sign. We're just gonna solve it like it's an equality. The only exception is gonna be if we multiply or divide by a negative, and we're not doing that at this point. So I'm going to take out an x from everything. That leaves me with x squared minus x minus 30.
Yep. So that was
Negative x. Wait. Oh, no,
Who?
I lied.
So now I need to factor this middle piece.
Yeah.
This should be an easy factor because there's no number in front of x squared.
-6 and 5.
X minus 6 and x plus 5. Now, I'm going to take each piece and set it equal to 0. Okay? I'm just going to use an equal sign for the moment because I feel like it's going to be less confusing. So x equals 0, x minus 6 equals 0, x plus 5 equals 0.
We set just the x to 0 too.
Yes, every piece has to be equal to 0. This problem is a cubic function, so it has to have 3 zeros. They may not all be real, but it has to have 3 zeros. So in this case, they are. So then x is equal to 6, x is equal to -5, or we have x is equal to 0. Okay, now I need to find out
the interval.
what interval of numbers makes a true statement. Okay, now this one has 3 numbers, so I have different places that I need to try and see what works.
0.
Okay, so I've got anything from, I could do something from 0 to 6, I could have -5 to 0, I could have less than -5. Now, I know that this is technically a less than or equal to, so I don't even need to worry about anything bigger than 6. Okay, 6 has to be the max that it can be. So I would say just pick a number between 0 and 6.
1.
Okay, good choice. Let's choose 1 and try it. So I'm going to plug 1 in. So 1 cubed minus 1 squared minus 30 times 1 is supposed to be less than or equal to 0. See if it's true. So that's 1 minus 1 is
0.
negative 30 is less than 0.
Correct.
Or, well, less than or equal to 0. So that's true. So I know that between 0 and 6 right now, I have an interval.
Mhm.
Okay? So at the moment, I know that this has to be true. It may also be true between negative 5 and 0. I don't know that yet. All I know right now is that in the interval between 0 and 6, and because it's an or equal to, it has to work. Okay? Now I'm going to try a number between negative 5 and 0. What number would you like to try?
Negative 4.
5.5.
How about negative 1? That would be really easy to deal with. So I've got negative 1 cubed minus negative 1 squared minus 30 times negative 1. Negative 1 cubed is
Negative 1.
negative 1. And then minus negative 1 squared.
Minus 1.
Joe, did you add another
And then negative 30 times negative 1.
Plus 30.
30 is not less than or equal to 0.
So that would be 28 is less than or equal to 0. That's not true. So that means that the interval between negative 5 and 0 does not work. So I'm going to try something on the other side of negative 5 to see if it works. Because I know that it's a less than or equal to. So at this point, it's really up to you what you decide to try. I would probably just go with negative 6 because it's probably the easiest number to work with at the moment. Negative 6 cubed minus negative 6 squared minus 30 times negative 6. Negative 6 cubed.
204.
What?
144.
That would be 12 squared.
184. Hold
Zach,
on.
you're wrong.
18 times 6.
216. I was so close.
Negative 216 minus negative 6 squared
Minus plus 36.
minus 36. And then negative 30 times negative 6.
180.
180.
And combine all that, what do we get?
A big negative
something
number.
that's less than 0.
A big negative.
156.
Use the calculator, right?
Wait, 44. 144. Negative 144. I don't think I'm.
You're wrong.
Let's see.
Maybe somebody with a calculator can tell me what the number
Oh, I got
actually
you.
is.
Don't worry. It's negative 72.
Negative 72.
Okay. Negative 72 is less than or equal to 0. That's true. So that means that anything less than negative 5 does work.
Correct.
So this interval, not a 0, is from negative infinity up to negative 5. And it's including negative 5. Okay? Now I need to combine my intervals together. So I'm going to put the union between them. So my answer is negative infinity to negative 5, union 0 to 6.
I thought this was an and problem.
And an or only applies to absolute value. Unless it starts out as a compound inequality. This did not.
So what would this look like on a number line?
Don't ask.
We're not doing
Here we go.
Say it.
that. Why do you say that?
1, 2.
Why y'all changing my question?
Just for reference, it does not ask you to do this.
Okay.
I'm retarded. No. I think I'm ready for
Are
the
we
test.
any less confused now?
I was
Probably
never
more
confused.
Yeah, why y'all want
Okay. We'll find
I
out.
learned Shepherd.
We'll find out later. Okay.
We get our quiz back.
Homework.
No. Projectile motion.
Huh?
How are we doing motion?
I don't got motion.
How did the notes turn into this?
A projectile is launched straight up from ground level with an initial velocity of 272 feet per second.
There.
This is two different ways we can denote initial velocity.
Is that the same I that we've been using?
Imaginary.
Imaginary?
No,
Oh.
that means initial.
They make all these stupid symbols. I don't even know.
So we've got a projectile.
A bullet?
Huh?
A bullet?
Sure.
Lazy. My shot.
Being launched straight up in the air. Probably more like a firework, but yeah, you know, whatever. It wants to know A, when will the projectile's height
Reach its vertex.
above ground be 960 feet? All right, so there was a formula I'm going to gather based on your reaction when I said projectile motion that it wasn't in your notes. That is S is equal to negative 16t squared plus v sub 0 t plus s sub 0. Anytime you see a sub 0 or a sub I, that means initial. Cash, this should look familiar to you, hopefully.
Yeah.
Except for the fact that it's not in metric.
Yeah, that's weird.
But the negative 16 is always using that there, right there, right?
This is the formula for projectile motion that you need to.
Are we
No.
gonna use discover physics?
It's a
Isaac
different
Newton.
formula in physics, but because this is for not
That
metric.
is a very well drawn S.
I have an S in my name, so
Me
I
too.
would hope I'm pretty good at drawing S's at this point. Okay, this is for position. T is in seconds. This is my initial velocity. And this is feet above ground initially.
VOT is the whole thing for the initial velocity. Or
V
just
sub 0 times T.
So is it always in seconds, or is it only in seconds because that's what this?
I would say probably 95% of the time you're going to be dealing with seconds. Because projectile motion, you're not going to ever really be thinking
Right.
about in terms of minutes.
Yeah.
Unless you're talking about like a rocket,
Don't
like
they
being
use
launched
meters
into
in-
space,
in
but
the-
that's a totally different thing.
Second.
What's a metric second?
Exactly.
What?
Is it like
Is that what they use in Britain?
I don't like the
No.
way you say exactly.
All right, so
Wait, how do you
the
say that?
position that I'm trying to get to is 960 feet, so S is 960. My initial velocity is 272, which we've already written, but just so we have everything together, feet per second. Now, if it's launched from the ground, what is my initial position?
0.
1.
0. S sub 0 is 0. Okay, if it was like launched out of your hand, then it's going to be based on the height of your hand off of the ground, okay?
Okay.
And I'm solving for T. So I'm going to plug all this stuff into this formula. 960 is equal to negative 16t squared plus 272t, and then plus 0, which obviously the plus 0 is just going to go away. Now, I need to get this in everything moved over so I can attempt to factor. So I'm going to move the 960 over. So 0 is equal to negative 16t squared plus 272t minus 960. Now, what is the first thing when you have ginormous numbers that we should try to do?
Factor out is
Figure out
16.
everything.
Factor out a 16. Always see, because I don't think you know right off the top of your head if 272 is divisible by 16 or 960 is divisible by 16.
It is.
Should we do a negative 16?
Yes, I would recommend it. and make it easier. So somebody tell me if I can take negative 16 out of both numbers, and if so, what do I get?
How do I turn this on?
On the on button.
277.
72.
You get negative 17 for 272.
You get negative 17.
And then 60.
Alright, so now I have negative 16 times all of this, but I can get rid of this by dividing both sides by negative 16, which means it just goes away. 0 divided by negative 16 is 0.
Seems wrong that you can do that with the 0 and just get rid of it. Like, I know it works, it just seems like it shouldn't.
Yeah.
For
Because it's basically just a multiple of what you have. So if it works, then otherwise you just end up with really big numbers.
Yeah.
Highly bad.
Alright, so now I need to factor this. I need factors of 60 that add up to negative 17.
Negative 15.
12 and 5.
12 and 5. Negative 12, negative 5.
12 times 5
I
is
didn't know
60.
12 goes into 60 like that. That's weird.
12 times 5 is 60.
Interesting. I never learned 12 times.
Show your work, Charlotte.
Alright, so this is going to be, since there's nothing in front, I can go straight to t minus 12 and t minus 5. So that means that t is equal to 12 seconds or t is equal to 5 seconds.
Now we have to go.
Do we have to put this in an interval?
No.
Okay.
Well,
Good.
not yet.
Oh.
Alright, this is part A. There are 2 times, okay? Because if you throw something or launch something straight up in the air, right, it's going to hit that height at some amount of time. But then it's going to keep going, and then it's going to come back down, okay, unless you happen to throw it exactly right so that it's just hitting that max height one time. So it's going to hit it at 5 seconds, and it's going to keep going up, and then as it comes back down at 12 seconds, it's going to hit again,
sure.
okay?
Why do you need to know this?
Shooting.
Y'all always asked me last year for your real-life application. This is a real-life application problem, and now you're like, why do we need this?
No, I'm just like, why would I need to know when this bullet's gonna come back down?
So you know how fast
She
you
can
run away.
run.
Think about it like shooting a basketball.
He's not gonna stop in the middle.
I'm looking trying to just chug the ball. I don't think 4 minutes.
Alright, let's equals 16t squared.
I'm just saying, you
should
can
probably
figure it
try
out.
More help your shooting.
No.
You could use it to find the max height of your shot.
Or you just like take a picture of it.
Huh?
You can just take a picture of the ball in the air.
Yeah, but then you'd have to use trig.
No,
Okay.
you just like, you see how hard the
Yes,
basketball hoop
you
is
have
and
to
you like
use
it that
trig.
much
We're
harder.
not the only one wondering that.
Okay, part B. When will the projectile's height
I don't have space.
I don't like how we use the parentheses on this letter.
above ground be more than 960 feet?
Never.
Anytime after 12 seconds or 5 seconds.
After
Right?
5 before 12.
Okay.
Because it's going up and then coming back
I
down.
thought 960 was the maximum height.
So do we have to do anything or just
No,
like
it said
write
when
it?
will the projectile's height above ground be 960 feet? Your work from the previous problem would do this. So this
Okay.
would be your interval that you were asking about from 5 to 12. And it's above 960 feet, so we're not including that time.
Wait, is that the answer?
Yes.
So I could have fit this on the page before. Oh my
I have a
goodness.
backtrack. It's
There's a part C also, so.
making
All right. When
it's making bones.
will the height
What?
above ground be less than or equal to 960 feet? Again, we've already done the math for this. So when is this occurring?
5 seconds.
Oh, it's the opposite. It's
Negative.
an or.
12, 5.
Negative, I mean, just 0 to.
5, and then union, and the other one.
Why the other one?
12 to 950.
Why the other one?
Why would it be to 950?
12 to infinity.
Why 12
At some point, it's gonna land. What?
Wait, why?
Why we just-
17.
Hold on.
After 12 seconds, it's coming back down. So at 12 seconds, it's at 960 feet. So anything after 12 seconds is going to be
12-0.
960 feet or less.
Less.
12-0.
It's going to be
Wrong
less.
place. Whoa.
So union 12 to, we can assume if it took, we're taking a little bit of an assumption here, but if it took 5 seconds to get there, it's probably going to take 5 seconds to come back down to 17 seconds.
I really thought I understood how so fluid.
Well, now you'll
How does-
mathematically know how it flies in the air.
I know how to throw a football.
That would be a great thing to use this for.
Yeah. What? Why is
I
it a
had good hopes for
parentheses
this
instead of a
lesson, but it's short
bracket
than this
around
one,
the
though.
17?
Because we're making an assumption that it's approximately 17 seconds, so it's not an exact number.
Danny, can I have paper?
Okay,
How would you use paper?
homework. 1, 5, 9, and 33.
It's like 3 problems.
Is one of